Jahmyr Gibbs signs a 3-year extension with the Lions. We know how good Jahmyr Gibbs is. Like I said, this is kind of also like Bijan. I don't know why it took this long. But before we get into the Detroit Lions, just give me your initial thoughts on Jahmyr Gibbs coming back for 3 more years, man. Let me know how you feeling.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, just like I said for Bijan Robinson, right? He's the guy you need. Jahmyr Gibbs, you know what I'm saying? He's my prediction for the offensive player of the year coming into this year, right? This Lions team really could use really do need a player like Jahmyr Gibbs, right? I'm saying he's versatile, right? We see what he does, you know what I'm saying, against these tough defenses, like against the Ravens when he was dominating. I watched that game, against all those sort of teams. We kind of see, like I said, this offense really needs Jahmyr Gibbs, they have to add on to their, the good receiving core and to really help out Jared Goff, right? I think that this extension was like Bijan Robinson. It was a necessity, and this is really just gonna help, you know, these extensions are just gonna help fuel their fires to make them into better players that they already are. And like I said, to me, Jahmyr Gibbs is my offensive player of the year for this year. So him getting this extension is just the only way is up for Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. Um, yeah, couldn't have said it any better. I mean, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, like I said, this guy is like one of the you can throw him in there as the best running back in the league. I mean, he can be in that conversation without a doubt. Um, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, he's that guy. I mean, it's no really other way to put it. Um, like I said, kind of with Bijan, same type of thing. Like this is a guy that, to me, like you need on your team. There's especially at the running back position, like having a good running back. We know what that can do for a team. We know how that can just how that impacts a team. And like I said, when you're putting all that pressure on the defense in the run game, that's when the breakups happen. The play action, the deep ball to Amon Ra, JMO. That's when those plays open up, and we know how dynamic both of those guys are on both sides of the field. So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a no brainer. But I guess I'll get back. I'll just kind of move into the Lions, right? So as we know, right, the Lions, the season was disappointing. It's no other way to word that. I mean, when you're looking at the Detroit Lions, how good this roster is, and when you're seeing them finish the season at 9-8 at the bottom of the NFC North, below the Minnesota Vikings, it's really crazy to see. Um, but as far as the Lions, I do believe that there will be a bounce back. I believe that the Lions they should be back in the playoffs. I mean, this roster is too talented. We know how explosive this offense is. We know how explosive this offense is. On the defensive side of the ball, you have Aiden Hutchinson. You know what I'm saying? It's explosive, but the defense, it kind of does lack. The secondary, it's kind of weak. But I think the offense can make up for that mid defense. I think your offense is that good. You having Jared Goff, having Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon Ra, JMO to look at. I don't really see it being any issues, and I don't see any defense is gonna have a problem with this from top to bottom, worst to best. Every defense is scratching their heads at night, saying, "How are we gonna stop these three dynamic guys that you can put each of them anywhere on the field, and they'll still be just as good as they were in the spot prior." Like I said, I think the Lions will bounce back. I think they'll be a playoff team. I don't know about Super Bowl. I wouldn't. I don't think I would go as far as Super Bowl just because to me the defense isn't holding up the end of the barn. I feel like you kind of need both sides to really win. But I think the Lions should be a playoff team. They shouldn't miss the playoffs this year. But Jay, give me your side, man. How are you feeling about the Detroit Lions this upcoming season, and do you see them getting back to that divisional round level when they got cooked by my Commanders? All right, let me know.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much couldn't have been any better, right? Defense was championships, and their defense, doesn't really keep up with these other defenses in the NFC, right? You know what I'm saying? Their offense is obviously loaded, it's obviously stacked, and I think their offense can bring them to the playoffs. I expect a good regular season out of the Lions coming into this year, but come playoff time, it's really the defense that wins the championships, right? We've seen this year in the Seahawks. We've seen this year in the Seahawks, right? Even in the Super Bowl, they didn't have the best really offensive game, but their defense stopped the Patriots from having a good offensive game. Their defense stopped, all those the defense was able to stop, that Rams team coming into the NFC Championship, right? Of course, defense is going to win games, and that's why they got torched by the Commanders that year, right? Their defense sucked, and Jared Goff, he couldn't got it. He was throwing meatball subs in the playoffs. It was insane, right? Coming to the postseason. So I think it just, it's gonna take a good defense, and then, Jared Goff, he has to use his weapons accordingly, right? Like you said, he has some of the three best players in the NFL. Jahmyr, J-Mo, and Amon-Ra, but he has to use them. Like I said, he has to use them properly, right? Can't be throwing meatball subs with these guys on your offense, man. Crazy. And then the defense just has to back up their offense, you know. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, and
they
that's the
could
main thing. Yeah.
the
That's the
defense.
main thing. Jared Goff, that's what I forgot to mention. I'm glad you brought it up. Jared Goff has to play better.
Right,
And that's another reason why I was like top 10 quarterbacks, because Jared Goff, the level he's playing at with this offense around you, you should be like your statistics should be the best one top in the game, right?
right,
Having these three weapons, like I said, when you have when you have a top 10 wide receiver one, top five wide receiver two. You have a top three running back. I mean, I'm not understanding how as a quarterback you're not delivering. You're
right.
not delivering when you have these options on all sides. And like I said, Jahmyr Gibbs, like Bijan, just as good as a receiver as he is as a runner. So I'm not understanding. But Jared Goff has to play better. Like I said, it really depends on Jared Goff and the Lions, like I said, if their defense can hold up, but to me, I mean, the defense is really gonna be the downfall. Um, like I said, offense can only take you so far. Like we saw with the Commanders in 2024 when the Eagles blew them out. Offense can only take you so far. When your offense isn't holding up the end, it's gonna show. And the defense, which lacked all season, it shows. It shows, man. But the Commanders, we don't have that problem anymore, so we're fine. But
Marshall Lattimore.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
take,
We don't have
take,
Marshawn
yeah.
Lattimore anymore, so we don't have that problem. Okay, and that name kind of scares me. So don't don't say that too often.